mentioned in previous videos how reading through the Old Testament, it's truly changed my life, and it's manifesting for me going forward in many different ways. Probably the most in my face manifestation at the moment is as I read through the New Testament again, because as I read through the New Testament again, all of these, these concepts and words that I'm seeing in the New Testament, I've already got a history. I've already got a history in the Old Testament of what these words and what these concepts mean. One of them, most particularly, is Judah. So the tribe of Judah. So Jesus was born in Bethlehem, he's come from the tribe of Judah. And another thing that I've really learned is that the Jews and the Israelites are black people, and the tribe of Reuben is the firstborn. The tribe of Reuben is partly the Australian Aboriginals. And something that I've really started to really suss out and notice is the Aboriginal culture here in Australia. So I want to put it out there too that they call it identify as Aboriginal, that legally here in Australia I'm an Aboriginal. I am an Aboriginal. I know I look white and all that, but yeah, that would go to the mingling with the mixed seed, I guess. But a lot of the Aboriginals here, the elders and stuff, I've been called a throwback a lot. Apparently I've got a bit of an Aboriginal nose and all this sort of stuff. And I've had I generally, when I'm in a setting with Aboriginals, I'm accepted. I feel good. I was in a relationship for a long time with an Aboriginal person, so I'm Aboriginal. I've had a lot of history with Aboriginality, and Dad says that when he was a kid, he remembers people in his family, aunties and the like, who were full caste Aboriginals. Well, that's how he recalls it in any case. But alongside all that, I've really noticed here in Australia, and it just hit me really just now, because I'm walking through the shops just now, and I noticed this fella. There's a real Aboriginal presence here on the Central Coast of New South Wales. In at Wong, there's a thing called Eleanor Duncan, and it's like the Aboriginal Health Service. And there's around Wong, there's a real Aboriginal presence. It seems to have become an Aboriginal town, has Wong. But in any case, I was walking around. Somebody just pulled out in front of me. I was walking around and I saw these two young fellas, and they were obviously some sort of sportsmen. They were like footballers or something like that. They look like footballers, and they were wearing like an Aboriginal shirt. And the two things I noticed, I thought I'll really have a look at this shirt. And one of the things I really noticed, there was two things. There was serpents. There's serpents right through Aboriginal culture, and also on this shirt at the back of it, there was a great big sun. I'm thinking, okay, because back in the Bible, in the Old Testament, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, consistently sinned against the Lord, worked iniquity, and brought false sacrifices to Baal and burned incense to Baal and all that sort of stuff. It went on and on. Now, one of the things I'm praying about to the Lord at the moment is that the Lord knew that, and that's what Jesus came and he fulfilled the law, and it was all done, and because no man can fulfill the law. So God knows this. God knows, and that's one of the reasons he sent Jesus, I gather, is God knows that the law can't be fulfilled. So one of the things I'm praying about is, well, why did you do it, Lord? Like, why did you put the 12 tribes through all that? Why didn't you just start off with Jesus? I'm sure they're just babe in Christ questions, and they will come to me eventually. But this is something. Well, the Lord will provide me the answer eventually, because this is something that I am praying about. Now, something that I'm really starting to think, because as I've read through Matthew, and I've made a good start on Mark there today. Something that's becoming apparent to me is the whole 12 thing. So there was 12 tribes of Israel, 12 disciples, 12 apostles. And I don't know how we go with the apostles because I haven't sort of got there yet in the New Testament. But there was one tribe that was the tribe of Dan, who was of the serpent, who's obviously of the enemy of Lucifer, of Satan, and they're God's people. And the same thing happens with the disciples. Judas betrays Jesus. So I'm really starting to think that the 12 tribes of Israel represent affliction in some way. And because this could be the answer, this could be part of the answer as to why God did the 12 tribes and he did all the Old Testament before Jesus. This could well be the answer, I don't know. But the 12 tribes and the whole 12 thing to me seem to be representing some sort of affliction. And to me, the serpent seed, is it in all the tribes? Because are all the tribes, all their attributes, are they within all the 12 different tribes and how they're made up? Is this in all the tribes? You know? So with the tribe of Reuben, the Aboriginals, the serpent seed is definitely, well, serpent, the worshipping to the serpents and praising the serpent and the sun worship, you know, it's all there. Because they're God's people. They're God's people, but yet they're not worshipping God and they don't even know they're God's people. So what's going on here? You know, there's a real theme with the 12, and one of the 12 was of Satan. I don't know, and there seems to be a remnant. There seems to be a remnant in every tribe, and this is where I really start to think about my calling, because I'm Aboriginal, and does that make me a tribe of Reuben? I don't know. I don't know. I think potentially it does. It absolutely potentially it does. It's possible that I'm within the tribe of Reuben, and it's something that I'm open to. And frankly, I mean, you know, sometimes you want certain outcomes in your walk with the Lord, don't you? I mean, we are human, and to be frank, I mean, it would really cap off a momentous 6-12 months for me if I was part of the tribe of Reuben, because my, does that go to my calling? And is this why the Lord's presenting these things to me? I don't know. So it's a very, very interesting time, because I might go and have a bit of a research of the culture of the other tribes, because I don't really, well, let's look at the American blacks, the tribe of Judah. I'm not seeing a lot of, well, see, in the South there, don't they? They've got churches, like those deep South churches and the Bible Belt in America. I've never been to America, and I've never really watched any of those services. Are they legit? Are those services legit? Are they just Freemason drill fest again? I don't know, but there's a definite Bible Belt, and those gospel songs those black people sing there in America are amazing. So, is the tribe of Judah alive? I don't know. I can tell you what though, the tribe of Reuben is dead. There is just no sign of life here for the tribe of Reuben to be worshipping the Lord, and I don't know. Is this where I come in? Just don't know. I've got all these questions at the moment, all of these things that aren't making sense. Is that the right thing? I'm not sure. They are. I mean, if I'm right, they're making sense, aren't I? I mean, everything I'm saying here now is right. It's certainly making sense, and it's all starting to come together. And that's something that I really feel is true. Is that it honestly, it all just feels as though it's coming together. So the 12 tribes, 12 apostles. One of them, Judas, betrayed the Lord, betrayed Jesus. One of the 12 tribes is at the serpent. And I think Dan, I really got confused a lot there in the Old Testament, so I can't remember where the tribe of Dan dropped off. I never really saw the tribe of Joseph got mentioned too much after Genesis 49. What I can gather, it split into two. It split into two tribes. And now they only talk about the 10 tribes. And I'm just, because Dan was dropped at some point, but doesn't that mean that there's still 11? What was the other one that left? I don't know. I don't know all that stuff. I don't know. I suppose that'll come to me as I read the Bible more, and hopefully some answers will come as I start the Apocrypha after I've finished the New Testament. But I don't know. There's the tribe of Reuben. There's no appetite for God by the looks of them. There's absolutely there's affinity there to the serpent in all of their markings and their artworks. There's sun worship there. No appetite for the Lord. All these questions, and then I just read. I think it was Mark 5. I want to do a video on this too. Mark 5. Jesus went over to the other side, and he was at the sea. Jesus went to the sea, and he passed over to the other side, and that's when he might have been. I don't think he walked on water there, but that's where they all went to. No, he calmed the waters. That's right. That's where he was asleep, and he calmed the waters. And I know asleep doesn't mean he was asleep, as in he wasn't awake. He wasn't doing that. It certainly meant something else, as it always does in the Bible, but he went to the other side, and it's all connected with the sea. The sea. These are the two most fascinating things for me right now in the Bible, are the 12 tribes. They're linked to affliction, and they're linked to the apostles and the sea. If I can crack the sea, I think in the Bible, if I can crack what the sea actually means, because it's got all sorts of meaning by the looks, because bad things come up out of the sea. The beast coming. I don't know. My head's all over the place. But I really feel as though I could be getting some good solid thought here down. Or, as usual, I could just be completely wrong. I've got to repent, try again, and then get the truth. But let's hope I'm on the right path. Tribe of Reuben, snake worship. There's sun worship there. There's no appetite for the Lord. I'm Aboriginal, which means potentially I'm within the tribe of Reuben. I've been called to help deliver the end times message. Tribe of Reuben, wake up, Koori.